Hello and good day. Presenting Motivational and Inspirational Quotes by my favorite pastor in the world, Joel Osteen. Here are now 10 more quotes for 61 through 470. Let's get started with number 461. You're going to go through tough times, that's life. But I say, nothing happens to you, it happens for you. See the positive in negative events. 462. In the Bible, God called Gideon a mighty man of fearless courage. Gideon looked around and said, "Who's he talking to? That's not me." God had an assignment for Gideon, something great for him to accomplish, but Gideon had not renewed his mind. He had these toxic thoughts. God saw him as strong, but Gideon saw himself as weak, defeated, not able to. God wanted him to lead the people of Israel and to defeat an opposing army, but Gideon said, "God, I can't do that. I'm the least one in my father's house. I come from the poorest family. I don't have the education, the skills, the courage." Notice how Gideon perceived himself compared to how God saw him. God said he was a mighty man of fearless courage. If God were to call your name today, he wouldn't say, "Hello, you weak worm of the dust. Hello, you failure. Hello, you oil sinner. How's my loser doing today?" 463. At some point look in the mirror and say, "Maybe I'm the one who needs to change. If I'm always critical, maybe I've developed a habit of seeing the bad rather than seeing the good. If I'm always skeptical, maybe I've trained myself to be cynical and sarcastic rather than believing the best. If I'm always finding fault, maybe my filter is dirty. Maybe I've become judgmental and condemning instead of giving people the benefit of the doubt." This is especially important in relationships. You can train yourself to see people's strengths, or you can train yourself to see their weaknesses. You can focus on the things you like about your spouse and magnify the good qualities. Or you can focus on the things you don't like and magnify the less desirable characteristics that annoy you. 464. Be comfortable not knowing. Quit being worried over what you can't figure out. God has you in the palm of his plan. 465. J.J. Moses was a star football player in college. He was drafted by the Houston Texans and played for them for 6 years. He was the kick returner and punt returner. He was as fast as lightning. When he had the ball, he electrified fans, darting here and there. He was amazing to watch. Playing in the National Football League in front of millions of fans, J.J. was at the pinnacle of success. But during the off-seasons and any time he didn't have a game, do you know where J.J. was every Saturday night? J.J. was not at home with his feet up. He was not out enjoying his celebrity. He was at our church in Houston, serving others as an usher, helping people to their seats, showing visitors around, passing the offering plates, and making everyone feel welcome. Many of those who came to church didn't know he was a star football player. In the stadium, all the lights were on him. Fans wanted his autograph or pictures with him. J.J. could have allowed his fame to go to his head and thought, "I'm big time, I'm not serving as an usher. I'm not waiting on people, I want them to wait on me." Instead, J.J. told me, "My greatest honor was not playing in front of 80,000 people in the stadium each week. My greatest honor was ushering in my section at Lakewood every Saturday night." J.J. offers testimony to the fact that you are never too big to serve, never too important, never too influential. 466. You have treasure in you. There is talent and skill that will cause you to be noticed. Proverbs 22 verse 29 says, "Do you see a person skilled in their work? They will stand before kings and great men." Keep sharpening your skills. Cream always rises to the top. This is what Joseph did in the Bible. He started off at the very bottom. He was thrown into a pit and sold into slavery by his brothers. Joseph didn't wait for vindication. He decided to be his best. Even as a slave, he developed his gifts. Joseph made himself so valuable that he was put in charge of his master's house. When he was falsely accused and put in prison, he was so organized, so wise, so skillful that they put him in charge of the whole prison. Joseph was cream rising to the top. When Pharaoh needed someone to run the country and administer the nationwide food program, Pharaoh didn't choose one of his own people. He didn't choose his department head or a cabinet member. He chose Joseph, a prisoner and a foreigner. Why? Joseph developed his skills right where he was, and his gifts made room for him. Don't use where you are as an excuse to not grow. Don't say, "I'm not in a good job. I don't like my position. I've had unfair things happen. That's why I've lost my passion." Remember, the treasure is still in you. God is saying it's time to use your gifts. Stretch yourself. Take some courses. Sharpen your skills. You should be so productive, so filled with wisdom no matter where you are. Like Joseph, you will rise to the top. 467. Proverbs 16 verse 7 says, "When God approves of your life, even your enemies will end up shaking your hand." The Message. 468. I've got a big vision. We can reach a lot of people with an extra 100 million. If you can accomplish your dreams in your own strength, talent, ability, and resources, then your dreams are too small. You don't need God's help with small dreams. Believe big. Your destiny is too great, your assignment too important, to have little goals, little dreams, little prayers. Keep big things in front of you. A friend of mine feeds 1 million children a day. He and his wife support orphanages and feeding programs that touch 1 million kids every day. That's what I keep in front of me. God, you did it for them, you can do it for us. Let our family impact millions of children. In our kitchen at home, we have pictures of some of the children we sponsor through our partner World Vision. Every time we eat dinner, every time we pass by, we say, "God, let us make a bigger difference." We're moving toward it. You may say, "Well, Joel, I can't even imagine that happening to me. I can't imagine me being that blessed." Don't worry, you won't be. If you don't have a vision for it, it's not going to happen. Without a vision, you won't see God's best. You won't be the winner He wants you to be. 469. I've got a big vision. We can reach a lot of people with an extra 100 million. If you can accomplish your dreams in your own strength, talent, ability, and resources, then your dreams are too small. You don't need God's help with small dreams. Believe big. Your destiny is too great, your assignment too important, to have little goals, little dreams, little prayers. 470. Studies show that enthusiastic people get better breaks. They're promoted more often, have higher incomes, and live happier lives. That's not a coincidence. The word enthusiasm comes from the Greek word entheos. Theos is a term for God. When you're enthusiastic, you are full of God. When you get up in the morning excited about life, recognizing that each day is a gift, you are motivated to pursue your goals. You will have a favor and blessing that will cause you to succeed. The 8 undeniable quality of a winner is that they stay passionate throughout their lives. Too many people have lost their enthusiasm. At one time they were excited about their futures and passionate about their dreams. But along the way they hit some setbacks. They didn't get the promotions they wanted. Maybe a relationship didn't work out, or they had health issues. Something took the wind out of their sails. They're just going through the motions of life. Getting up, going to work, and coming home. God didn't breathe His life into us so we would drag through the day. He didn't create us in His image, crown us with His favor, and equip us with His power so that we would have no enthusiasm. You may have had some setbacks. The wind may have been taken out of your sails, but this is a new day. God is breathing new life into you. If you shake off the bloss and get your passion back, then the winds will start blowing once again, not against you, but for you. When you get in agreement with God, He will cause things to shift in your favor. On January 15, 2009, Captain Chelsea Sully Sullenberger successfully landed a jet airplane in the Hudson River after the plane's engines were disabled by multiple bird strikes. Despite the dangers of a massive passenger plane landing in icy waters, all 155 passengers and crew members survived. It's known as the Miracle on the Hudson. Just after the successful emergency landing and rescue, a reporter asked a middle-aged male passenger what he thought about surviving that frightening event. Although he was shaken up, cold and wet, the passenger had a glow on his face, and excitement in his voice when he replied, "I was alive before, but now I'm really alive." After facing a life and death situation, the survivor found that his perspective had changed. He recognized each moment as a gift and decided that instead of just living, he would start really living.